I'm Liz Nordling, a member of the League of Women Voters of White Bear Lake area, and I do not live in the township, and I will be the moderator. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan volunteer organization which encourages citizens to participate in government. Our mission is to support voter education and voters' rights. Though the League studies and takes positions on issues, we do not support or oppose any candidate or political party. Our goal is to encourage citizens to learn more about the positions of the candidates who will be on your ballot on November 5th. All candidates who filed to run for this position were invited to participate, and today we have two of them with us. They are Beth Arthur and Tom Riedesel.
My name's Artner.
Artner. I am so sorry.
That's quite all right.
Beth Artner and Tom Riedesel. To begin, each candidate will introduce themselves by name and make an opening statement of up to 1 minute. And our timekeeper has warning signs of 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and then a stop sign. At that time, you can finish your sentence, but that's it, or I'll cut you off. For the opening statements, candidates will respond in alphabetical order, therefore the order will be alternated. Questions were received in advance from the public and reviewed by a committee of League members. We will not use questions that are unclear, hostile, or of a personal nature. We may consolidate questions that fall in the same general topic area. All questions submitted are the property of the League of Women Voters. We will start with opening statements, and we will start with Beth Artner.
Thank you. My name is Beth Artner. I've been a town resident for 40-plus years. I've sat on the Planning Commission for well over 20 years, and I'm on the Economic Advisory Board. And I really like living in the township, and that's why I'd like to serve.
Thank you. Now with his opening statement is Tom Riedesel.
My name is Tom Riedesel. I'm a resident of the township living on the south side on East County line. Been a resident since 1989, married with 2 daughters that are grown. And I served as the town planner for 30 years until I retired in 2021. So back serving as a town board supervisor in an interim role due to a retirement of one of our 3 members. So I'm serving until the end of the year, and we'll see about next year.
Thank you. We'll move on to the first question. We'll start with you, Tom. Why are you running for the White Bear Town Board this year?
I just like being a member of the town. Like I said, I retired a few years ago, looking for some things to do. Friends with many of the board members and commission members, the existing town board, staff, just getting back into being around the old cohorts. And again, resident of the town, I like what we got going on now, and I want to be a part of continuing that.
Thank you. The question now moves to Beth.
I also like living in the town, and I love how the town is run. I thought Tom was a fabulous planner. I wish he'd come back. I have to say he's a pretty good candidate, and I think you'd do well to vote for either one of us. But I've been on Planning Commission. I'm well aware of the issues. I attend the town meetings. I sit on the Economic Advisory Board, and I'm in communication with lots of our citizens, so I feel like I'd also be a good choice.
Thank you. The next question goes to you first, Beth. What are the 3 most pressing challenges facing White Bear Township today?
White Bear Township is interesting because we're nearly all built out, so we don't have the same challenges as other places. So in our case, I think to enhance and continue what we've got, it's a unique community. So I would say fiscally, we've got great responsibility, and I think we need to maintain that. I think we should probably make sure that we're able to help the housing stock stay in good order, our infrastructure also, and I would love to see us get a tree replacement plan for the loss of all the trees that we're having. I mean, even during the Dutch elm, a lot of those haven't been replaced, but it makes a nice look for the town.
Thank you. The question now goes to Tom Riedesel.
Oh, remind me of the question, please.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Memory. Taxes. Always looking at taxes and trying to keep a low tax rate, at least consistent with other communities in the county. we're one of the lowest. We've been one of the lowest for years, so I think that's very important to maintain that. And we get good service, too, out of those. That's always pressing. I like Beth's answer with the trees. We got a lot of things going on with trees. Traffic is a new one here now with the redeveloped high school and the change in traffic patterns. So that's going to be something that we'll be looking at. There's a couple things anyway.
Thank you. We'll move to the next question. It goes to you first, Tom. Of the challenges you mentioned, which would be your top priority and how would you address it?
Well, top priority is many. Development of parks, trails, that's a new thing, a new coming thing, and with some funding. So working with outside agencies, Ramsey County, MnDOT, town residents to develop some of the trails according to the plan, parks according to the plan. Again, with the traffic, the town board now has asked for some traffic studies of that area around the high school to see what patterns have changed and seeing if there's ways to address modifications of roads, whatever, routes, bus routes, whatever. So that's an issue now, and I think we'll be studying that soon.
Thank you. The question now goes to Beth.
I would agree that those are great issues, and Tom's kind of brought them up really well. We also need to continue our program of the infrastructure. They're replacing a lot of the sewer and water piping because it's old and it needs to be done. There's a great road construction project where we're trying to keep the roads in good repair all over the township. And we received money so we can actually do these things to keep our township in good repair, because you really don't want to see your place running down at the heels like we've seen other places, because we are such a unique community. So the trails are excellent. The tree renewal projects, I would agree with Tom.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. It goes to Beth Artner first. The budget for the White Bear Township is more than $22 million. What experiences have you had that will help you carry out your financial oversight responsibilities?
I think the township's really well run. I've been through a lot of the budget meetings. I've gone through the budget line by line. They are thrifty. They've been thoughtful. I guess one of the things that sticks in my mind is during 2007 and 8, when things were so hard for people, if anyone remembers, like our 401ks were tanking, they could have gone and bought a lot of new equipment, and they didn't. They stopped, and they made repairs up until, like last year, roughly? They did. It was thoughtful. They take into account the citizens.
Thank you. The question goes to Tom Riedesel.
Yeah, frugality. That's the key with the town, I think, is making things work with what we have versus buying new. And we have a capital improvement program, 10-year program. We follow that, and I think we do a pretty good job with it.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question, and we'll start with you, Tom. What other skills and experience do you have that makes you uniquely qualified to be a supervisor?
Oh, just probably the experience with being a planner. I was around for 30 years. Again, I retired in 2021. So I have a pretty good idea of things that have been going on the past 35 years. And I think that helps me out as far as being qualified for this position.
Thank you. Question goes to Beth.
I have to say Tom was a fabulous planner, and I would agree he's a stiff competition, I'd say. I've been on the Planning Commission for 20-plus years. I think I've got a pretty good handle on what's going on in the township. I was a project manager for a commercial construction company, so I'm used to dealing with big budgets and understanding some of the trade-offs you have to deal with and some of the issues you have to deal with when you're working in communities. So I understand quite well what you need to do. I guess I'll leave it there.
Thank you. We'll go to the next question. Then it goes to you first, Beth. What concerns do you have, if any, with the township's relationships and contracts for public safety? Is there anything that you would change in any of the current contracts?
There's not a lot you can actually do. I mean, the price is the price. I mean, if you've noticed in Minneapolis, I think the officers are starting at $100,000, and I think being a policeman or police officer has gotten a lot more challenging, and it's going to be expensive, and it does impact the communities. We also get our services from White Bear for ambulances and fire. It's really hard to probably keep a handle on it, other than maybe going to another town near to us, but it's a toughie.
Thank you. Question goes to Tom.
Well, I don't know if I have so many concerns with public safety. I think we have a good relationship with the city of White Bear when it comes to fire and ambulance, and then Ramsey County's been the sheriff for many, many years. So, and our crime rate in the township is ridiculously low, thank you. So,
Shh, don't tell people.
yeah. So I don't have any major concerns. We have contracts, and I think we work pretty well together with those agencies.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question then. It goes to you first, Tom. What is your vision for residential and business development, as well as the development of natural resources in the township? What are the opportunities or limitations to development in either case?
Well, the township's 99% developed now, so we're seeing some development, but what we're seeing is consistent with the town's comprehensive plan. We update that every 10 years. It's a good working document, and we've been following it, and I think we'll continue to do that as far as business and residential. We're about out of space. Natural resources, nice parks, a lot of water. The town is 50% parks and water and open space, which I think is pretty impressive. And do you develop that where it's appropriate? Do you leave it natural? In a lot of spots you do. That's one of the nice things about the town.
Thank you. Question goes to Beth.
Could you repeat it, please?
What is your vision for residential and business development? No, wait a minute. Yes, what is your vision for residential and business development, as well as development of natural resources in the township? What are the opportunities or limitations to development in either case?
Like Tom said, the township is pretty much built out. We've done a really great job in regard to businesses. They're tucked in and around the community because we don't have a main street. So you've got a lot of really great businesses that have high-value jobs that have been really beneficial to us. With regard to the parks, I think we've done a great job. I'd like to see us maybe increase pollinator projects and working with Tamarack Nature Center and maybe Ramsey County to enhance, because we've got so much great open space and anything we can do to help the wildlife. And the people. We've got great trails. They've cut more and more trails in for walking. During COVID, it was fabulous. I mean, I never even felt like I suffered much, as I pointed out to Tom.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next question. It goes to you first, Beth. Are there people who are struggling in the community, and if so, where? What would you do as a supervisor to address these struggles?
I'm not aware that we have many residents who struggle. We have quite a few that I've noticed that have disabilities, and they were able to find homes because we have such a unique bunch of housing. A lot of old cabiny-type places were purchased for very little money, and a lot of people who have disabilities were able to remodel them and live there as a proud homeowner. I can't think of anything that would be really tough to deal with regard to that. Maybe, like making grants available if you needed insulation, but I don't know that those things are available right now.
Okay, the question now moves to Tom.
Well, I don't hear a lot about people struggling in the township, but if I look back to the time I moved to this area here, housing was an issue, affordable housing, hard to find that. So supporting that is good. In addition to empty nester housing, people retiring and wanting to move out of their homes, may not be able to maintain anymore, so looking for a townhome apartment, something like that. We're seeing a lot of that being developed in the town, and a lot of people being able to stay in the town when they do sell their home.
Thank you. Any additional comments? No.
No, I remember back when I came, it was kind of interesting. Their parents would be living on the lake, and then the kids would move up, and the parents would move back into the smaller house. People don't really like to leave the township. It's a great place.
Okay, we'll move on to the next question, and it goes to Tom first. Please give examples of how you've been able to work productively with those who have opposing views? Have you ever had to support a decision that you did not agree with? And if so, how did you do that?
I guess there's probably been an example, although it's hard to find. The board typically, there's consensus on the board. Finding consensus is the key. You might not necessarily agree with the action that's being taken, but if it's reasonable and there's consensus with the majority of the board, you go along with it. But you might express your opposition as whatever the topic is, but in the end, you want to get along, cooperate. Did that answer the question, or was that rambling? Sorry.
You did fine.
Thank you. The question now goes to Beth.
Well, I have to say, I'm probably not supposed to say something nice about my competition, but Tom was the master. He was fabulous at getting people to yes, so when it got to the Planning Commission, he actually helped people get to the right place. So Tom actually made it easier for making a lot of the decisions in the township. I have to say I absolutely appreciated what he did and what he brought. But you have to be willing sometimes, and I know I've been the lone no vote, but you're also upholding state law, and as much as you might want to agree with something that's out there, you can't give to one that you can't give to the other. So you do it as best you can, but sometimes people aren't going to be happy. But Tom did a great job getting them there. Sorry, Tom, I got to
Get off my back.
All right, we'll move on to the next question. And it goes to you first, Beth. In what ways have you been involved in supporting and promoting the township?
Well, I turn up at every meetings. I talk to most of my neighbors. I tell people how much I love living in the township. I think we've got a great government. I love where, I mean, honestly, I can't say one negative thing about it. I love living here, and I really like our town government.
Thank you. Tom?
Pretty good answer. I got to go with that, too. Township Day is one of the things that we invented to get people out and support the town and enjoy the town. So that's something that I've been involved with, Beth's been involved with.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. We'll go to you first, Tom. Please describe how you will engage township residents in discussions regarding the direction and policies of the township.
Town kind of does that naturally with public hearings. The annual meeting where we adopt a levy, the annual budget meeting where the residents adopt a budget. Hearings, neighborhood meetings relative to road construction, reconstruction in neighborhoods, park development, holding neighborhood meetings for parks, what the neighbors want to see when a park is redeveloped. So those are some examples that we used in the past to get the public more involved.
Thank you. Question goes to Beth.
We've got a great community. I mean, people are really involved. We've got a lot of people that show up. I know I get phone calls all the time, and I can't tell you how many times I've been in the park and somebody goes, "Hey, you're on the town or you're on the planning commission," and they want to talk to me about things. So the dog walking community is huge with regard to input on some of the decisions. It really is. I mean, people are involved. There's not a lot of, you don't get anybody having a thought on an issue that might be divisive. It goes to the fact that I think the town's very well run.
Thank you. Any additional comments?
Agree.
Then we'll move on to the next question. It goes to you first, Beth. What steps will you take to ensure transparency and accountability in township government?
They are very transparent, which is something I like. You can pick up the phone, you can look at any document, literally the budget, anything online. So there's not any, you never wonder, well, how did that happen? You can know exactly how it happens. All of the information is online, the meeting minutes. You can watch it. How many of the meetings are on CCTV now? I've forgotten. I know we transcribed some, but I don't recall. Am I okay to talk to you?
Well, 2 town board meetings.
Okay, yeah. So it's pretty transparent.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't change anything, and just being there via emails, which we have through the town, and then personal phone, text, business phone. We're reachable as town board members, commission members, and that's very important.
Thank you. We have zipped through our questions, and we are at the last question, which is a yes or no question. And it'll go to Tom first. At informational meetings during the rebuild of South Shore Boulevard, residents living along the bike trail route were told the speed limit for the one-way portion from McKnight to East County Line would be 25 miles per hour. However, it is currently marked at 30 miles per hour. Would you support changing it to 25 miles per hour?
Yes, I drive it daily. I've been looking at it, and it just feels natural to drive that at 25.
Thank you. Beth?
I would agree.
And that is all the questions I have for you two. So we're going to move to closing statements. And we will start with Tom Riedesel.
Oh, well, thank you for this opportunity. This has been fun, and Beth is a hoot. We've been working together, boards and commissions, for, did you say 20 years, 30?
Yeah.
Well, it's getting up there. Anyway, we enjoy working together, all the commissioners and board members that I've worked with in the past. It's just been fun and professional, and I hope to maintain that if I'm elected in November.
Thank you. Now with her closing statement is Beth Artner.
I would say that getting either Tom or I would be pretty good. I don't think it's a hold your nose and vote for one of us, actually, because I have nothing but good things to say about Tom. I thought he was super effective. I think I can be too. I would love to see Tom come back and work for the township,
I'm old and retired, Beth.
but I'm still going to try.
You keep trying.
I know. But yeah, I have absolutely, I think I could do things for the township. I also think Tom could, so I can't say mean things about my opponent.
Well, this concludes our forum for White Bear Township Supervisor. Our website, lwv-wbla.org, has listings for all of our candidates' forums and links where you can submit questions for those forums. You can view this recording of this forum and all of our forums on our YouTube channel, League of Women Voters, White Bear Lake Area. You can also look for it on your local cable channel at times of their choosing. Thank you, and remember to vote. Early voting is September 20th to November 4th, and Election Day is November 5th. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.